Out that nonsense Hail Mary. They dominated second, third quarter on the road. And by the way, they lead the NFL over the Cowboys with 10 sacks and 20 quarterback hits. Sam Howell, 3-0. I liked what I saw. I said this before the season. We like their personnel. We're not sure about the coach and the quarterback, but Howell's played well. He's got a little juice. And now with Chase Young back, they're going to get you a pass rush. I thought, forget that silly Hail Mary. I thought once this game got off script, Washington was the better team easily.
The 3.
Correct.
Not just to a Washington franchise with a corny-ass name like the Commanders. They should have named them the Generals or something else. The name is corny. It's whack. Change it, okay? That's a different subject for another day. But Sam Howell is your quarterback. I'm going to repeat that. Sam Howell. Now, he looked pretty damn good yesterday, okay? So let's give props where props is due. And I'm going to tell you something like this. Today, we're going to talk about this today.
Okay.
We're going to bring up that name, Eric Bieniemy. 55 points in the first 2 games. Coming back from a 21-3 deficit, okay? You ain't got a single receiver that had 100 yards. Their leading receiver had 54 yards yesterday, okay? Their running back had 87 yards in Brian Robinson Jr., okay? This is what they have. But they come back from a 21-3 deficit. They are undefeated. They have put 255 points up in the first 2 games. When you look at Kansas City's struggles, and you juxtapose that with Eric Bieniemy now gone, and you juxtapose that to him arriving in the nation's capital for the Commanders, and the fact that they're putting up points. This defense had 7 sacks. 5 different dudes contributed to sacks, okay?
Right.
Chase Young, Montez Sweat. They had 1.5 sacks along with 3 other dudes that registered sacks. I'm looking at their defense. You know it's only going to get better. Their offense with Eric Bieniemy leading the way, coming back from a 21-3 deficit on the road, to me, against a Denver Broncos team we had some expectations for, that is bigger to me than the Giants.
Before you jump in, Shannon, Commanders.
I'm looking at Sam Howell going, there's something here. There is something here where he is making decisive throws, he's making quick decisions, and he's showing the arm strength to get it downfield. And he's making the throws that you kind of have to make if you're going to be a top-tier NFL QB. There's going to just have to be a couple of throws where it's like, right, boom, on the button, on the money, in the middle of traffic, and that's the throw we need right there, right now. And I thought he made a couple of those on Sunday. I thought that he was pretty damn good. He was, for where he is in his career, I thought it was very encouraging to see that type of decision-making and that type of play from the quarterback. So I don't know where this goes. Sam Howell's young, okay? But this is an offense that put up 35 points on the road. Maybe the Broncos aren't very good. But they put up 35 points on the road, and there's a couple of throws in there where it's like, right, that's what I need to see.
Sam Howell's Commanders, and I think that's the takeaway. A year after struggling to find their quarterback, a year after getting Sam Howell in the 5th round, giving him the job and having faith in him, we saw the athleticism, we saw the arm strength. He had a great turkey hole shot late in that game to keep a drive alive as they mounted that comeback. So all the credit to them to going on the road in Denver, playing in incredibly tough conditions, and finding a way in the second half, as you mentioned, down 21-3 early in the second quarter to win a football game. The first time they're 2-0, I believe, since 2011. Wrap your brain around that.
And to show up.
Let's talk about the Washington Commanders. This team just came back from a big deficit. They were down 21-3 and they won the game 35-33. They looked really good in this game. I believe Sam Howell's a franchise quarterback for this team. I know that may be too early to say this, but for the last couple of games, going back to that first Cowboys game he played and the last game of last season, this kid is special. The arm talent is special. The presence in the pocket is special as well. Sam Howell is legit. He finished the day 27 of 39, 299 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and he did get sacked 4 times, but it didn't faze him. Brian Robinson Jr. had 18 carries, 87 yards, and 2 touchdowns. This offense is special. This is one of the best young offenses in the NFL. And I've been saying it for quite some time now. The only thing that I am concerned about is the offensive line protection. But besides that, Sam Howell has a cannon of an arm, and he is on go mode right now. Sam Howell and this team are being slept on because
I want to start with you first because the Commanders have been going through a lot of changes over the last few years, but it kind of feels like head coach Ron Rivera has things going in the right direction thanks to the new additions on his coaching staff. What did you see out of that side of the game?
Well, let's start with Eric Bieniemy, and let's start with the fact that he was given the title assistant head coach. And that's not just words. When Eric Bieniemy came in, Ron Rivera said, okay, you know what? You take over the scheduling. You take over the way we practice. And you know what Bieniemy did? He ripped up the way Rivera was doing it. The Commanders now have Monday off instead of Tuesday off. They practice at a much more efficient and quick pace, and they practice for a longer time. I talked to wide receiver Terry McLaurin, and he said we come out on the field before and we do an install before we even begin practice. When we practice, we have a lot more reps. He talked about the fact that there could be a receiver who's the third read on any play, and before, that receiver would never get to that play in practice. Now that is indeed repped. That engages guys more. And when we talked to Ron Rivera about this, he said, look, I'm trying to mentor the guy. I don't want him to leave, but I do want him to have a chance.